Hi everyone, it's Mary Jo. Welcome back to my channel. I'm doing this special reading right now. I really felt Spirit was urging me toward this because of the planets retrograde right now. We have 5 planets in retrograde, and that hasn't happened in 10 years. So I felt inclined to do this. We had Mars go retrograde and then Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, and on the 28th of April will be Mercury, which we experienced that a lot, but still, to have them all together I thought was significant. I am doing something a bit different in this reading. I'm doing a horary reading. A horary reading is addressing the date of the question. These cards represent the date of the question. You pick one major arcana, one court card, and one minor arcana that are tied into the astrological dates and in the tarot. And the Hierophant is Taurus, the King of Pentacles is Taurus, and the Five of Pentacles is also Taurus, but line up into the dates that add up to and include early May. And also April 30th, May 1st are the days when the veil is considered the thinnest between worlds. In our hemisphere, in the northern hemisphere, it is called Beltane. And in the southern hemisphere, they are experiencing Samhain right now, and it reverses as the seasons do. So there are different times when it is best to work with the other worlds and the other realms, and spirit, God is all the time, but to really get in touch with what's going on right now, this is a really appropriate time, and I only just found that out when I was researching before I was doing this reading. Now, when we have retrograde planets, it's talking about going within. It's talking about introspection. We need to reflect on things. Things that have passed and are coming up to us now to be readdressed. What we didn't accomplish, what we set out to do, and what we need to relook at and say, could we have done anything differently? Can we make these changes? So now we're looking at the Hierophant. Number 5, the King of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. We have 2 5s here. A lot of energy, okay? We know the 5 also in Tarot talks about uncertainties. Now, with this energy, it is not always what seems is, in other words, in life. There are perceptions. Now, immediately I was drawn to this on a macrocosmic level. When I look at the Hierophant, to me, it resonates with stubborn authority. I think of the churches in the world. I think of all the religions that control us in the world. Now, I myself am a very spiritual person. You know, I believe in God. I believe in the creation. I believe in source energy, in spirit, in angels. However, when anything is forced onto a person, then it becomes somewhat of a control or a crutch. And many religions do keep people living in fear. There are others that are not as dogmatic or as stubborn. But to me, macrocosmically, this looked to me as a great power in religion and the uncertainties we're experiencing with that. This reminded me of great power in monarchies. Okay, also in very wealthy people, the few percentage of the world that controls all the money. And then the power that they have over many, and I'm not saying all of us, but over many, to keep them living in fear. Like I said, that crutch, keeping people impoverished, subservient, putting people in a spiral of feeling like they can never have anything or go anywhere with their lives, that they're seeking help but can't get it from these government, churches, states, all of these high authoritative figures. That's how I felt about this macrocosmically. Now, on a microcosm, individually, it could be some of us are being very stubborn right now and very dogmatic. Some of us might even be trying to be freer thinking in our ideology and in theologies. However, we are forced to fit into society's box, the walls that they build around us and expectations. And some of us want to break free of that or are in fear of or don't know how to. Others of us maybe are just being stubborn in our ways, trying to force people to stay in a certain way of believing and thinking. Either way, this is whatever it is in your life. It is definitely something that has been long established, deeply rooted, deeply seated in our societies and in all cultures. Even though we are different cultures and ethnicities, we all have deeply seated and rooted belief systems that are not necessarily the truth or are outdated. So however that would affect you in your life right now, either you're being spoon-fed a lot of garbage that you just can't stand and you want to break free of, or you're being stubborn and rigid and not looking to change things. You may respect or have a beautiful memory of what was, but this is what was, and it is not always what we need right now or what is or is best for everyone. And then with the King of Pentacles could be that you're looking for something more that's more grounding and stabilizing in your life. You're looking for, and I'm not going to talk only about money because that's always something people look toward, but we know that is also a control in our lives. So I'm going to say with the King is about intellect, and this is the Pentacles. So this is also our health, our wealth, our education, I feel. Things that we love doing, things that we make with our hands, things that we are very fond of. We work hard at, we're diligent in doing. So many of us maybe are looking for a new way outside of the old ways. So maybe you want to work from home. Maybe you're looking for something more of like a part-time. Maybe some of you want to retire and enjoy the rest of your life. Maybe people want to travel. Maybe you're thinking of going back to school and getting more education. Maybe you're looking at your finances and you're looking because this is the logical mind and about the earthly plane, how to manage your money better so that you'll have that nest egg, because this King definitely talks about long-standing, like a dynasty or family, money, generational. This is a man who's worked hard, but he's very good with his money, or woman. So maybe some of you are looking for how you can stabilize your finances for the long term, or your health even. Or you're looking to just ground yourself better. Maybe with all this 5 energy, you've been very ungrounded and unstable, and we'll get to that when we hit the retrogrades. And then with the 5 of Pentacles, some of us are feeling like we're going to lose something. We're feeling destitute. Maybe you're losing a love and that's ungrounding you. You've lost someone and you're grieving. And you didn't do well in school and you're upset or you're worried about not doing well with your schooling before the end of the school year. Maybe some of you are feeling your health is at risk and you're uncertain and you're worried about that. See, this card talks about worrying about things. Okay, and this is Mercury in Taurus, which Mercury is going retrograde on the 28th, but we've already been feeling the shadows of it since the 14th. So know that with this 5 energy, this is uncertainty. Things that seem are not always what is. And remember, the Pentacles there in the stained glass window talks about, instead of walking with your head to the ground, destitute, look up to the heavens. Look up to spirit. There's always help there for you. God is there. Your angels are there. Whatever you call your higher self. Okay? Remember, this 5 energy is very active. It is dynamic. Sure, but in this card, we're talking about the way you're thinking is negative. And you are creating more negative things around you. You're considering your losses instead of looking at the possibilities of all that you could have. That light is there calling to you. Look up. Start to take those thoughts, which is your Mercury ruled energies and communications, and start thinking and talking about all the possibilities that aren't now but can be. So turn those uncertainties into things of what you can create and manifest, especially with Taurus energy, is third dimensionally, what you want to bring to you. Now, when we look at the retrograde planets, we'll look at Mars. Now, Mars in retrograde, Mars is very powerful male creative energy, spirit, intuition, inspiration, creative energy, artistic energy, okay? And this card, the Tower, does represent our ego and arrogance and a change, a need for the foundation, which was not built solid, to become torn down and rebuilt again. And that ties in with that Hierophant card. So at this time with Mars retrograde, what is it that you need to reflect on in your life that does not have a solid foundation? What is it that you have known or maybe have been blind to or didn't want to accept that has not been on solid ground in your life? And put this in any aspect, okay, since this is a general reading. Whether it is a love, a health, work, career, a home, an apartment, a car, your family, anything that you can, even a project you're working on. Are you putting so much of your energy into this and not being able to take the initiative to make a change in your life? Look and reflect on that. Where have you been a little too egotistical, some of you, or arrogant? Where do you need to be humbled more? Or maybe where have you been too humble and you need to start making a better stand for yourself? The Mars energy is about that spiritual warrior, that empowerment. And we could say on the lower vibration, it can be bullying and aggressive. On the higher vibration, it is creative, beautiful energy. And that ties into spirit. So look and reflect right now with this Mars retrograde, those aspects in your life that you need to go within and think about. Where am I being bullied? Or maybe where am I being bullied and not empowered? Where am I giving away my power? Where am I not being creative and expressive? Where am I not touching into the spiritual side of myself? Where in my life are things breaking down that need to be torn down, cleared away, cleansed, purged, and then created upon something new and beautiful and strong? Then with judgment, we have Pluto. Now, Pluto is very transformational energy, okay? So with Pluto in the judgment card, we're saying about being called to a new life. Let's reflect on that. Where have you been called in the last, let's say, 3, 4, 5 months, even a year, to something new that you have not approached? Or maybe you have approached and gone to. What were the things that were entombing you, that you felt trapped and unable to be freed from? What are the things that you did free yourself from? And be responsive to the call of Gabriel's horn to this new life. This is a time to make a moral inventory, okay? Looking at the past, every step that you have taken has led you to where you are now. What steps would you go back over and retrace? What steps would you go back over and walk away from to a new path? So this card is about this transformation. Okay, it talks about the alchemical process that we transmute energies, just as the judgment card shows people being called to a new life. Energy is constantly in flux. There is no beginning, there is no end. You always were and you always will be. This is what you need to reflect right now. What is it that you have been, or what have you not been? What could you be? Don't worry about the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. That's all part of the process, because at the time that you chose what you chose, it was right for you. How could it not be? Now, in retrospect, maybe you've changed your mind. For one way or another, it doesn't matter. Just realize that maybe there's changes that need to be made, and reflect on those now. And where is it that you could be called to a new life? Especially following this Mars energy, which is talking about tearing down the old and building the new. This is a beautiful flow here. And then you have the Hangman, which is Neptune. Now the Hangman puts himself into this position of surrender. Now I get that. And he's being introspective. Definitely ties in with introspection. Neptunian energy is that of that floating, like kind of dreamy state, like sometimes when you get a little tipsy or you're floating in the pool. Very Neptunian energy. You're between worlds. He surrenders himself upside down, and as the blood rushes to his head, he starts to pass between this world and the next, meaning the conscious and unconscious, okay, into the dream state. So where in your life right now can you reflect upon what is illusory in your world, in your life, that you're looking through with rose-colored glasses, and you really need to take them off and see things for what they really are? Maybe it's a time for you to surrender. Maybe you have surrendered too easily, and you've been wearing these rose-colored glasses and not seeing things for what they are. Maybe you are clearly seeing things for what they are. You've let the world pass you by for so long because in this upside down state here, you feel like you were in suspended animation. You felt helpless. Maybe you felt like you were out of control, or maybe you were fighting to be in control when everything was taken from your control, because the universe, source energy, is trying to bring you the best of everything in your life. So at this time with this Neptunian energy, talking about focusing clearly and separating the fantasy from what is real. Be in a state of peace right now in this time of introspection. If you haven't surrendered and things are out of control, maybe it is a time to put yourself into a state of surrender and let the universe rearrange people, places, and things just for you. And if you haven't been trying to take control, maybe it is a time for you to go within and reflect and really think about these things that are going on in your head and your heart. And maybe you can start to think of and fantasize of the life you do want and surrender those thoughts to the universe and let them come to you. Then we have the World card, which is Saturn is in retrograde. Now, Saturn is our great teacher. Saturn is like father time and karmic debt that we bring into this life. And it is the last card of the tarot in this Major Arcana. So what do we need to reflect on? What have we not worked on? Now, I hate to say work hard on, because I know a lot of us feel you shouldn't have to work hard. Things should come easily. Okay, so let's put it in a more appropriate sense. What is it that you have not been working at? What is it that you have been working very diligently at? What are the results coming to you? Because this card talks about ascension. It talks about success, long term with Saturn, okay? Time. It stood the test of time. So what have you been working on that you're feeling like, now I've accomplished this? This has been the result of my work. I have put the energy into this. I have put the thoughts into this, the love into this, the feelings into this. I've spoken of this. I've manifested this in my life. And now I can celebrate and relax and rejoice and feel blessed and give thanks and gratitude. But then maybe some of us are looking at it, it's like, when is it going to be me on top of the world? When am I going to be dancing with joy and happiness? Why haven't I received all these things? Have you put the work into it? And I don't mean back-breaking work, 20-hour days or 60-hour work weeks. I'm talking about the work within yourself, okay? This is more spiritual with the Major Arcana. What is it with Saturn's energy that you need to reflect upon and think back within yourself and say, what can I work at? Am I not thinking about what I want enough? Am I not speaking about what I enough with more positive, loving thoughts? Am I not feeling for what I want and desire in my life with love instead of desperation? It all ties in together, the mind, the body, the spirit, the heart, the action. What am I doing? Putting my energy forward. Am I in flux here? Am I stagnant and just sitting around and doing nothing? Like here in the Hangman saying the world is passing me by. What is it that I can do in this state? Well, I can use my mental realm. I can use my heart chakra. Even if I cannot get the results I'm looking for, but the actions I'm showing, know that the wheel is in motion and things are going to be unfolding as they should. So right now, Father Time and Karma and Saturn are asking you to learn the lesson. To be dancing on top of the world, you need to start thinking, speaking, feeling, and moving your energy toward what it is that you truly desire in your life. And if you are there already, give thanks, dance your happy dance, because believe me, that music and that dancing and joy will bring more to you. Then we have the Magician, which is our Mercury energy in retrograde. Now, we know with Mercury, it's going back and looking over things that we didn't sign, contracts we didn't review, insurance policies, maybe those little mundane things every day we don't do. You didn't pay your bills on time. You didn't answer texts and phone calls and emails, letters, if you got something in the mail that you had to respond to. With this Mercury energy, it's everyday errands and things. I still didn't pick up those things from the dry cleaners. Oh, why didn't I go and weed the garden, when that was that beautiful, nice day? These are local things with neighbors, errands, short trips, little vacations. So at this time with the Mercury retrograde, we need to go back and look at all those things that we did not do and did not accomplish that have to do with communications, even word of mouth. Have you been telling the people you love, I love you? Maybe even lately, is it something that you wish you said and you didn't, or things that you said you wish you hadn't? These are the things we want to reflect upon also with this Mercury retrograde. What is it that I could be thinking differently, doing differently with what I say? Have you been needing to write and you haven't been writing? Maybe you have a book you wanted to get published and you just said, oh, no one's going to buy this. Get on it. All right, after the retrograde, okay, wait till May 22nd is over the retrograde, and a few days after that. Don't start anything new now, but if it was in motion before that, let's reflect on it now and address it now. Get the energy going, get the thoughts going, start talking about it, start feeling excited. Like I said, the thought, the word, the feeling, and the action. It's like pouring fire on a gasoline on a fire. It's highly combustible. Put that energy in to build that fire. And the Magician does talk about manifesting things into your life. The Magician says you have all the tools you need. God is giving you everything on this earth that you need, but everything is within you. And the 8 on its side is the Lemnisket, is the energy that always is, always was, always shall be, like God tells us. Okay? And this is bringing all the energy here into your life. The earthly plane with the pentacles represents your health and wealth. I also talk about education, knowledge, grounding stability, and creative things, agriculture, science. The cups are your emotions. Okay, the sword are your thoughts and words. And the wand is spirit, intuition, inspiration, creative energy. So this is a great card to end off with, the last of the retrogrades, to reflect on all of this energy that's happening right now and bring everything into balance in your life. I did pull a fairy oracle to culminate the reading, and it's number 40, Green Man's Door, and it speaks of portals to fairy world, wheel of the year, galactic and Gaian entry points. Excuse me, it's getting dark here. So this card is talking about this time of the year. Like I said, it's April 30th to May 1st. And the card does talk about the veil being thinnest right now. Get out in nature. Get your bare feet into the ground, into the sand, into water. Feel the ley lines energy of the earth flow through you. Feel the grounding energy of the earth. That God has put so much beauty into this earth. Look at it, see it, be around it, feel it. Breathe it in, drink it in, smell it, taste it. It's a beautiful time to be out in nature as the spring is coming here in the southern hemisphere, the autumn is coming. Things are changing. So maybe it's a time for you to use this doorway, this portal, and all this energy of the retrogrades to go within yourself and bring yourself into this new life. We are gathering energies from third dimension and third density to fourth dimension, fourth density. We are going to be entering or are in the Aquarian age. That is in dispute with many astrologers. But it is a time for us to make great changes within ourselves, within the world, and in the cosmos. So I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope it was a little taste of something different. And I thank you for all my subscribers who've been with me and sharing and tweeting and liking and commenting and supporting me. I'm so grateful for your love and support. And welcome to the new subscribers. And remember to look at the old videos that have been posted. Follow your intuition. Go to the one that calls to you. It may speak to you and resonate with you at that moment. It doesn't have to be from week to week. It could be something that happens 3 weeks from now, and you can remember this reading. And if not, maybe you know someone in your life this could make sense to. And you could pass it on to them to give them help, guidance, or peace. You remember, you are a channel. We are all channels. But let's be clear channels. What are you tuned into? What are you turned on for? Tune into spirit, higher self, whatever you call God, source, creator. Just tune in, turn on, be aware, be awake, and be part of. And take the steps to change your life. This is beautiful energy to work with. As always, I wish you the best.